Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer blah blah fucking oh god, I'm really looking forward to this one. Right, well this is the last of the games that I'll be reviewing where I compare the old game from the 70s with a revamped version that came out around the mid to late 80s, or in the case of Super Space Invaders, the early 90s. This one, Super Sprint, obviously the souped-up version of Sprint, which I did in the last video. This was the first one of the lot. This was the one that really started it all off. I suspect that Atari's reasoning behind doing this one is that there were a lot of people around in 1986 who had never heard of Sprint. And I'm not at all surprised if there are, loads of people out there today who've never heard of it, but even in 86, we're only talking 8 years after the initial release. Yeah, there were probably plenty of people who had never heard of it. But then again, the rate of arcade game development and the number of titles that were being released at this time meant that there was a vast number of games that were being released and just instantly forgotten because they weren't memorable enough, and people were just they would see them for a very short while, then they would disappear from whatever amusement arcade had them, and the next thing you know, they've gone, and gone for good. There are fuck knows how many arcade games from the 70s and 80s that I've either forgotten or I never fucking saw. For me, that even includes R-Type. I never saw the arcade original of R-Type until confession time. Yes, I have the ROM for MAME. If I am feeling in an unbelievably masochistic mood one day, I will probably do the R-Type arcade original. But don't expect it anytime soon, because I will put that off for as long as humanly possible. Then again, if I could, I would do the same with this. So, yes, this came out in 1986, as I'm sure I've already said. Obviously, this is an Atari game, and it is quite simply a souped-up version of the original Sprint. Now, there isn't really a huge amount different between this and the original Sprint, but there are some differences. You can pick up spanners and that which appear on the track, and they I can't remember what they do actually. I think they do something to improve how well your car goes. There are shortcuts on each track. Each track is 4 laps long, I think. Yes. And they don't change automatically. Each race has to be run before you get to the next lap or next track. I think you have to win the first race in order to continue on to the next circuit. If you're playing 2 or 3 players simultaneous, then any player that finishes behind a computer controlled car is eliminated and their game is over. So yes, you'll soon find out that that means a lot of people would have goes that were very short. This game is fucking difficult. I made Sprint look like one of the most difficult games ever created because I was so shit at it. This certainly makes, Sprint makes this look extremely easy. I've completely fucked that up. This makes sprint look extremely easy. Yeah. You can tell I'm having one of these fucking days, can't you? If you can't, I'm having one of these fucking days. So, right, let's bung a couple of credits in and get this over with. I can't remember how many credits I put in. 3. Bung in one more. Right. So, I can choose which track. Let's start with this one. So, off we go. Now, as you can see, your car moves very fast. And on this first race, the computer-controlled cars are very slow and absolute shite at negotiating the circuit. Which makes you think, oh, this game's going to be fucking easy. Wrong. Later on, and when I say later on, I mean the next fucking circuit, as I'm about to win. There we go. But the very next race, they are suddenly a hell of a lot better, and the circuit is a hell of a lot more difficult. Doesn't look difficult, but yeah, it doesn't help that I've had these fuckers crashing into me, and now I'm crashing all over the place here, and now I frantically have to try and get ahead of this fucker, because with it being a one-player game this time, I can't let any of the computer-controlled cars beat me, otherwise it's game over for me. Now, while some circuits do have shortcuts, actually this one does have a shortcut, and I fucked up on the fucking last lap like a fucking cunt, and that's me out of it. Fuck off. Went from first to last in the space of half a fucking lap. Yeah, see, well, you can see there was a shortcut there, but at the bottom there, that's saying prepare to race. Oh, okay. I don't know how I managed that. Oh, it's used one of my credits. So anyway, yes, so there was a shortcut there, that gate that kept opening, but you saw that like loop area. You can't skip that, you've got to go through it, so yeah, you're not going to be able to use a shortcut there. I didn't seem to be going that quickly, but oh well. Now for some reason the computer controlled cars are starting to drive like complete fucking mongs again, so this is just as well, because so am I. Alright, let's say grab that fucking spanner. Now I didn't play this much back in the day because the game never grabbed me, but I did play, as the white flag shows I'm on my final lap, I did play one of the conversions. Might surprise you which one. I played the Atari ST version because, well, because my mate had an Atari ST and he had this game. It was okay. In fact, it was more playable than the arcade version because it wasn't as difficult. But I never played the Commodore 64 version because the game never really interested me enough to want to. I saw the Amiga version, which looked again okay, but nothing that really grabbed me, which is really the story of the game. Speaking of which, let's get the review underway. So let's try the there we go, I made the shortcut there. Let's get the review underway. Graphically, well, considering it's an updated version of Sprint, the graphics are so-so, but really nothing fantastic. 1986 arcade games were capable of doing phenomenal graphics, bearing in mind that, you know, Space Harrier came out just well, a year before this, so the graphics are a bit unimpressive to say the least. The audio is reasonable, but again, nothing remarkable. And the gameplay, I think it suffers from just being too difficult. Now, it's probably wouldn't have been so bad if I was playing the arcade original, because again, you know, you've got the steering wheel and the accelerator, but there were no gears in the arcade original of this. It was basically, oh, what the fuck am I doing? It was basically like you're driving a NASCAR with direct drive. So there was no gears at all, which made the game somewhat basic. It's not like the game was easy, because it certainly was not that, even with the proper controller. But when you're as shit as I am, I did rather well to get through those two shortcuts, to be honest. Obviously, if you mistime it and the doors crash on it, or close while you're still going through, you are crushed and you blow up. And I'm going to be stone dead last on this fucking one. Yeah, that was shit. So the gameplay does suffer a bit. I think it's rather tricky. Now, does that mean I'm able to race or not? Yes. Right, well, this is definitely my last chance. I've now got to win every race from here on in. I didn't even see what I picked up there. So we got another shortcut there, which I completely missed, so fuck it. Somehow I'm quite a way ahead. I think that's more to do with how shit the other cars are doing. But there's no I think about it. It is because of how shit the other cars are doing rather than how well I'm doing. Look at this. So I find the car difficult to control, not just on the main emulator here, although that doesn't help. I found it hard back in the day. Obviously, again, I'm using keyboard here to play a game that was meant to have an analog controller with the steering wheel. So, yeah, if you were playing this game down the arcades and you were driving like I am on this track, you would not be winning any races of any kind. Oh, I actually got through the shortcut at last. Oh, fucking, what are you doing, you fucking cunt? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know if I'm going to actually win this now. Look how long I spent just trying to get round one fucking corner like a total fucking muppet. Fuck off. Oh, come on! Yeah, right. Look at that for some impressive driving. Best lap, 22 minutes 4 seconds. Right, this is almost certainly going to be my last go, because I'm not going to get fuck all nowhere here. Yeah, the problem I have with the gameplay is that the cars, if anything, move a bit too, well, the car you're driving moves a bit too fast, and it's very sensitive when you are turning. When you were playing this with the steering wheel, it wasn't such a problem, but when you're using keys and the car's going all over the fucking place because you hold down the key to turn for more than, like, you know, a second, yeah, then you're having problems. If I win this, well, no, okay, I'm not Kainu now. What the fucking hell happened there? Well, I fucked up is what happened there. There we go, so that's game over. Oh dear, what a fucking shame. Well, well, I got the best lap, for what it's fucking worth. So anyway, there we go. I'll shove the fucking initials in. Alright, how do I... There we go. So, graphically, yeah, I mean, obviously it's an improvement on the original Sprint, but I think they would have had a harder job making the graphics not as good as the original Sprint. It's not completely top down. There is a bit of an angle to it, which I'm not that keen on. I prefer it if it was a straight top down. They're certainly colourful and they're certainly fast. The audio is, well, it does the job. It's nothing remarkable, but it's there. And the gameplay is a bit too fast. I'm utterly shite at this game. I can't get used to the speed. I can't get used to the very sensitive nature when it comes to trying to corner. So yeah, I can't get used to playing the game at all, even though I played the Atari ST version for a fair bit back in the day. But again, no, actually I was using keys then as well, which doesn't explain why, I was shit at the well, actually, yeah, it does explain why I was shit at the arcade original, but it doesn't explain why I was so shit at it now. Because I'm using keys again. Mind you, it has been a fucking long time. That's my excuse, and I'm going to stick with it. So I score it 4 out of 10. There's just not enough here to make the game enjoyable, and I'm not a fan of it. And in case you needed any confirmation, I'm absolutely shite at it. So that brings this review to an end. As I say, this is the last of these videos I'll be doing where I do a game from the 70s and then it's like 80s or so update. So I don't know what's coming next. I don't even know if it's going to be a coin-op or a Commodore 64 or an Amiga or what. But it's certainly the last one of these comparing update ones. Before anyone says it, no, I'm not going to do Pac-Mania as an updated version of Pac-Man. I always hated Pac-Man. I mean, the Atari 2600 version was okay, but yeah, all the rest was just shit. I never saw the appeal of it, and I thought Pac-Mania was every bit as bad. It's just that the maze was bigger because it had to scroll, and the less said about the cartoon or the game Pac-Land, the better. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing Pac-Man and Pac-Mania, so this is it for comparing the oldies and their updated newbies. So anyway, there you go. That brings this review to an end, and we will see you at the next one.